King's Raid is an anime gacha hero collector game that released back in January 2017. I've always enjoyed this game and I've been playing it on and off ever since it launched, even to this day. And boy, has a lot changed over the last 4 years. I wanted to make this video as a way to try and bring more awareness to the game, as well as just appreciate what it has to offer for the player. What is up, dwellers of the interwebs? It's your host Sorasyn, and this is Sorasyn Gaming. Welcome to my channel. King's Raid has evolved drastically over the last 4 years. How the game has played and how raids are done. It has all changed a lot since the early days. The developers Vespa always seem to listen to what their player base want, and they give it to them. King's Raid follows the adventures of Castle and his childhood friend Frey. Along for the ride are their new companions Cleo and Roy. Castle is on a mission to discover what has happened to his brother. They will meet many allies along the way, as well as plenty of monsters and demons to try and stop them. King's Raid has had many story updates over the years, and I must say the current story, without spoiling anything, is pretty dark and bleak. Definitely had some super sad moments in some of the more recent updates. King's Raid's combat uses the same template as every other gacha hero collector game. Your heroes are on one side, taking turns to fight the enemy on the opposite side of the combat zone. One of the big differences to other gacha games I enjoy is that this one doesn't have big flash ultimate animation scenes. Kinda disappointed by that. I always enjoy watching those in other games. I honestly never get tired of them. There's plenty of combat modes. There's the main story campaign where you just travel along the map, progressing the story and fighting monsters along the way. There's the world boss encounter where you need a team of up to 8 heroes to participate. There's also 2 types of tower climb dungeons. Tower of Challenge is for earning enough items to craft artifacts for your heroes, and the other, called the Tower of Ordeals, is for gathering evolution materials to raise your hero's star ranking and to enhance star levels up to 5. Then there's the Stockade Vault, where you can do dungeons for skill enhancement books, evolution stones, experience, and gold. You can do a total of 4 turns, 5 if you own the NPC, so you have to pick which dungeons matters the most to you at the time. King's Raid has 4 different types of raids you can do. Dragon Raids, with different types of dragons to combat. Dragon Raid Hard Mode, for those players who are super elite and can take on everything. Field Raid, which I believe is even stronger encounters with even better loot. And then finally, the Techno Magic Raid, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the more recent addition. There's also Guild Raids, Guild Wars, and plenty other combat options in the game. As you can see, there's a lot of content for you to consume. King's Raid can be played solo. Vespa has made sure that all content, except for guild content, can be done solo. You don't ever have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. King's Raid's end-game content, like the Dragon Raids or any raid for that matter, has evolved so much that now you can choose to open a solo raid, unlike in the past where it was actually designed as a multiplayer encounter, where you could choose to still solo, but it wasn't meant to be done that way. Now, it's a lot easier to grind for gear that you need from raids without having to deal with other people. Even the field raids seem to be able to be done solo. I'm pretty sure in the past those were purely group-based content, but I could be mistaken. Now, while everything can be done solo, it can also be done with others. Having trouble on a main story mission? No problem. You can ask for help and someone can join you to fight. I've never used it before myself, but I've seen others asking for assistance. Vespa has really gone out of their way to try and please every type of gamer that would play this game. Of course, Arena is present, and unlike most gacha games I've played with Arena, this one is in real time. Your opponents are actually there, and you can choose to manually combat them if you're skilled enough. Even if you get a bot, usually it will get interrupted by a real player challenging you to an arena match, thanks to the auto pairing system. The fact that it's fast to pair for an arena match also shows the game is still pretty active considering how old it is. Vespa has also added in a new mission menu, which is hosted by the super cute NPC Estelle. She will guide you on what you can do in the game so you don't get lost. And almost everything you do gives you rewards. You get red gems for almost everything and anything. It's not hard to save up. Vespa is overly generous with their premium currency, so if you're a free-to-play account, you really don't have to worry. There's also no hero gacha. All heroes are available to purchase with premium currency as you see them. You can also buy gifts for NPC heroes to earn their favor and eventually own them as well. There's no loot box or gambling mechanic for the heroes. The gacha comes into play when you're wanting one of the heroes' coveted unique weapon, a weapon specifically designed for each hero. That's where the whales will splurge the most, trying to get 5-star unique weapons for the ultimate damage. But don't be sad, because you have plenty of opportunities to earn a unique weapon for free. You can earn them from saving arena points to get a unique weapon selector ticket, as well as craft them from using materials earned from breaking down unique weapons you don't need. And you can also earn them from events. My account is almost 100% free, but I have so many unique weapons and 64 heroes collected so far. I think I've spent about $2 US on this game in the last 4 years. Honestly, I wished more hero collector games use this type of system, where you can just buy the hero you want without having to try your luck for your favorite waifu or husbando. I'm looking at you, Genshin Impact. I'm crying internally from my poor luck in that game's gacha system. The biggest game changer in King's Raid for me was when they introduced the ability to dispatch, basically a type of offline grind. And trust me, when you need to 5-star every piece of gear you have, which requires you to non-stop grind a raid boss over and over, having the ability to dispatch your heroes for 200 tries of the raid to get gear, it's pretty wonderful. I still remember leaving my phone on overnight grinding dragon raids with other guild members so that we could get the best chances for decent loot back in the earlier days. And then you or someone else, or maybe the host of the raid, disconnects, and the whole overnight grind is ruined. So introducing this feature really was a lifesaver, especially on my phone's battery life. Also, there's now pets in the game. That's something that wasn't there before. Even to this day, they're still adding new features. The pets are pretty cool. You can feed them and they'll give you gifts, and the more pets you own, they provide your team with extra boosts to your stats. King's Raid doesn't have top cutting-edge graphics, but it isn't bad either. The models are still highly detailed and don't look cheap. The character models aren't chibi and are fully 3D models instead of 2D models. The combat zones are also highly detailed on the max settings, and the game runs on 60 frames per second easily if your device can handle it. I prefer graphics that look like this than anime-style chibi models. I like to see the detail in the armor or costumes, and yes, there are costumes in this game, as well as many ways to customize your heroes with accessories, which is also a new feature if you're an old returning player like me. King's Raid has many different voice dubs to choose from, and they're all pretty high quality. Even the English voice acting isn't terrible. I did eventually pick Japanese because, you know, you gotta embrace the weeb life. Even the opening menu has a beautiful theme song, which seems to change with each major update, also sung in various languages. Combat audio seems impactful and loud. I actually turned off the audio if I'm just fighting non-stop, because all the heroes screaming catchphrases and attack moves gets tiring on the ears after a while. Sadly, the cutscenes are not voice acted. The heroes have spoken lines when they're fighting, but during the cinematics, they're just grunting or making some other noise, so be prepared to do a lot of reading. King's Raid isn't a difficult game to pick up, especially with the current iteration of the game. Estelle will be there to help you in the mission menu to keep track of everything you can do in the game. Vespa has done a great job of making sure that you, as the player, do not feel overwhelmed by what really is a truly overwhelming menu interface. Honestly, if they didn't explain it well, it could be very daunting to a new or returning player. So that's my experience with King's Raid in 2021. A game that is familiar, but with a ridiculous amount of extra added features and quality of life changes. I truly think that King's Raid deserves to keep on going and evolving. I don't feel like the player base is dead, but it's definitely not as active as it once was, but there's still a healthy amount of players. Vespa keeps pumping out content for those dedicated players who can't get enough of the game, and of course, for on and off returnees like myself. If I could quote one of my friends who summed up how I also feel about King's Raid, he said, "I think that game's a near perfect mobile game in terms of how it treats its players and how frequently they update with new content. Every single time you come back to the game, there's always like 5 or more extremely new things for you to try." Which is true. The game is never a dull experience every time I return. If you have made it this far into the video, thank you. I appreciate it. I know this was a long one. I've just got a lot to say about this game. It truly is one of the good ones within the hero collector gacha genre of mobile games. If you have never tried the game before or haven't played it in forever, you should definitely download it or return and give it a shot. Especially right now. They're giving so many things away due to the anniversary event, and you can also get Estelle for free. Also, if you're looking for a casual guild on the Asian server, I recently started up a guild myself called Filthy Casual, all one one word, because I couldn't seem to find anyone willing to let me join their guild, so feel free to join mine. It's open invitation, no need to apply, just you need to speak English. So that's what I think about the state of King's Raid in 2021. Remember, these are just my opinions. If you feel you had a different experience and would like to share your experience with me, I'd be happy to read them in the comments below. If you'd like me to review any mobile game you're curious about, please let me know also what game you'd like to see me talk about in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like and subscribe if you did, and also perhaps hit that bell icon if you'd like to stay up to date on all my upcoming content. All my social links are in my description below. Please follow me if you also feel like it. Take care, be safe. This is Sorasyn Gaming signing off.